Why am I doing this? I know it's going to be terrible. There is absolutely nothing you can do to make this even remotely enjoyable. Alright, that was actually pretty funny. But I'm watching you. Now. Hi y'all, I'm Fallen Ninja, and welcome to Versus, where our two festive contenders are How the Grinch Stole Christmas from 1966 and The Grinch from 2018. So first up, we have the plot. For How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the plot is literally by the book. Like literally, the movie is Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but animated. You probably all know the plot of How the Grinch Stole Christmas because, well, there's a book, and now there are 3 movies about it. So if you don't really know what it's about by now, you probably live under a rock. But here we go, I'm gonna go through it anyway. It focuses mostly on the Grinch, who lives up in a cave with his dog Max, and he absolutely hates Christmas. Like, he detests it, he's worse than Scrooge, he just wants it gone. So he devises this plan to go steal Christmas, and he goes down there and he takes all their lights, he takes their trees, he takes all the food out of their fridges, which is like super mean, and then he goes to the very top of the cliff that he lives on, and he's about to just push it off, and there we go, no more Christmas. I don't have to hear them sing again, I don't have to hear them be happy. And instead what happens is he gets up there, and it's Christmas Day, it's time for everybody to wake up. It has taken him literally the whole night to take everybody's Christmas. And all the Who's come out, and they get together, and they sing still. And so the Grinch has a change of heart. His heart grows 3 sizes right then and there because he's finally understood the true meaning of Christmas, and he goes down to celebrate with the Who's. In The Grinch, it's a little bit different. It gives us more of an insight into the Grinch and Cindy Lou, which are really the only 2 characters in either of these movies. So for this one, it shows a lot of the Grinch's daily life. So in this one, the Grinch and the Who's actually interact at one point, wherein How the Grinch Stole Christmas they didn't. And there's also this extra side story with Cindy Lou, where she's trying to find Santa Claus so that she can make sure that her mother gets something nice for Christmas, because she deserves it. It was very cute, and it actually did add to the story, add another layer of what life is like down in Whoville. I definitely thought it was just going to be useless filler, but they did a really good job with it. So let's talk about the characters. In How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Grinch is basically evil incarnate for unknown reasons. He hates Christmas. He hates everything about Christmas. He hates the noise. He hates how happy the Who's are. He hates the singing. He's just a crotchety old man that lives in a cave with his dog, basically telling the Who's to get off of his lawn. Cindy Lou is a sweet little girl that questions the Grinch's motives. While she doesn't play a big part, she's still a factor that helps the Grinch understand Christmas. In The Grinch's character is a little bit different. This one actually gives us more of a backstory, more of an insight into the mind of the Grinch. And it tells us that he doesn't hate Christmas just to hate Christmas, but that he hates Christmas because he hates being alone. And Cindy Lou in this one has a very bubbly, helpful personality. All she wants throughout this entire movie is to just find Santa Claus so he can help her mom. Let's move on from the subject of characters and talk about their voice actors now. First off, you have Boris Karloff, who's the narrator and the Grinch himself. Boris Karloff isn't much of a voice actor, he's more of an actual actor. He plays in a lot of the classic horror movies, from the late teens all the way up to the early 70s. He does an excellent job of not only telling us a story, but of also using his voice to really get the Grinch's personality to come across. Oh man, Boris Karloff. I just can't believe it. Okay, calm down. Alright, I'm done fangirling about this. It's time to fangirl about June Foray, Cindy's voice actress now. She's the voice of Rocky from Rocky and Bullwinkle. She is Granny and Witch Hazel from the Looney Tunes. June is the perfect fit for the sweet little girl who just wants to know what Santa is doing with her Christmas tree. And for the Grinch's voice actor is Benedict Cumberbatch, who is also not much of a voice actor, more of an on-camera actor, and he's one of the reasons I decided to watch this movie. He was perfect for playing this particular Grinch. I don't think this is really a compliment, but he plays depressed hermit very well. Cindy Lou's voice actress, Cameron Seeley, also did an excellent job of using her voice to give her character life. Whoever did the voice actor casting for both of these movies should be promoted. The last thing I'm going to touch on is the animation and character design. How the Grinch Stole Christmas is traditionally animated, and the Grinch is in 3D. How the Grinch Stole Christmas's style works because it looks like they just made photocopies of the book and then gave them a little bit more color. They used Dr. Seuss's original style and basically brought his work of fiction to life. The animation for the Grinch really helps it set up the world it was trying to create. It's got a little bit of a different style than Dr. Seuss, but that's okay because it works with the story that they wanted to tell. The character designs for both movies fit in their own worlds quite nicely. Nobody seemed out of place at all. All things considered, these movies were very close together, but I'm going to give you my final decision. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. And now I'm going to tell you why. So the first reason is because of the music. The remake that Tyler the Creator did for You're a Mean One, I'm going to say it's not good. The original by Thurl Ravenscroft and Boris Karloff is extraordinarily better. So that made it lose a couple points for me. And then the other two had to do with the plot. These two plot pieces eventually end up converging, but let me start with the first one. So the first one is that they give the Grinch a backstory. Sort of. All we really get to see is that he was raised in an orphanage in Whoville. Which, that's great that they tried to give us a little bit more perspective on the Grinch, but they didn't go very in-depth with it. Or at least, not as in-depth as I would have liked. Because all we see is the Grinch in this huge building by himself, nothing else. We don't really understand what kind of childhood that he had. And also, we can assume that something fairly bad happened to his parents. But what it doesn't answer is, what is he? What is the Grinch? Because he's obviously not a Who. He doesn't look like any of the other Whos in Whoville. So where did he come from? We know where he went. But where did he come from? And then the second part of the plot that I want to hit on is that the ending kind of fell flat for me. What I mean by that is for a movie that was really trying to give the Grinch more character and give him character development, there wasn't really a whole lot of character development. Because all we see in the beginning is the Grinch wanting what he ends up with in the end. So there really isn't any character development. Unlike in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, where we have an extremely mean-spirited individual who goes on this journey of change and becomes an actual decent, can I call him a person? He becomes a decent individual. So for both of the movies, the message is the same. It's not that the presents and all of that are what Christmas is about. It's about being with people you care about and all of that. But in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, because of the way that the main character changes, that message at the end hits a lot harder than it does in The Grinch. And you really see it. It has more heart. And all these reasons are why I prefer How the Grinch Stole Christmas over The Grinch. All in all, Illumination, you really outdid yourself. Especially because I went into this movie 100% hoping I would hate it. You may have even redeemed yourself with this one. So, tell me which one you like better down in the comments below, and I will catch y'all on the flip side.